In the 21st century, most auto industries are creating EV vehicles, and Toyota's luxury division has not been left behind. The Lexus RZ 450e is the first entirely electric SUV from the Japanese automaker, and it offers more than just being an EV. Stay tuned as we get a close-up look at the 2023 Lexus RZ 450e. How does it perform on the road, and what features does it come with? Stay tuned and don't touch that dial. Everything you need to know about the SUV is right here. Let's have a look at this vehicle's range. In an era when the Air car from startup automaker Lucid can travel more than 500 miles between charges, the RZ 450e's range lags far behind. According to Lexus, internal estimations utilizing the Environmental Protection Agency test cycle indicate that this SUV will go up to 225 miles when equipped with modest 18-inch wheels, and only 200 miles when equipped with larger 20-inch wheels. These range estimates are subject to change before the vehicle goes on sale and is likely to rise. However, compared to non-luxury rivals such as the Ford Mustang Mach-E, Hyundai Ioniq 5, and Kia EV6, all of which can go more than 300 miles between charges, the Lexus's performance is an obvious drawback. Another potential disadvantage of the RZ 450e is the absence of a front trunk. Engineers crammed all of the powertrain's modules and controls hardware beneath the hood, leaving little room for a storage cubby. This was done to make the high voltage lines as short as possible to save weight and money. Fortunately, the back luggage compartment is spacious and the load height is low at roughly 29 inches. Similar to the front-wheel drive BZ4X, the RZ 450e utilizes a 71.4 kWh liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery pack, which has up to 252 miles of range, by the way. Lexus argues that the RZ 450e was designed in a balanced manner to support its engineering judgment. Even 200 miles is plenty of range for many drivers commuting to work or running errands. Yet, more miniature battery packs cost and weigh less, provide better dynamics and make the car more economical. The company anticipates that this SUV will be 15% to 20% more efficient than competing EVs, utilizing as little as 18 kWh of electricity per 100 kilometers. However, this could be an excuse for Toyota's lack of progress in electric car development. Lexus takes pride in its durability, and the RZ 450e's battery pack should keep more than 90% of its capacity after 10 years. A warranty that protects owners from this type of degradation is currently being researched. Specific charging speeds and feeds have yet to be determined, although the RZ can absorb electrons at a maximum rate of 150 kilowatts when connected to a DC fast charger, which is the same as what Ford's Mach-E can do, and the same for the front-wheel drive BZ4X. Surprisingly, the all-wheel drive variant has a maximum power output of only 100 kilowatts. The EV6 and the Ioniq 5 outperforms these three vehicles with a maximum power output of 250 kilowatts thanks to their flexible 400-volt, 800-volt charging system. In layman's words, this Lexus should be able to charge from 0 to 80% in around 30 minutes. Although the level 2 charging speed is unclear, the BZ4X, which is closely comparable, can handle 6.6 kilowatts of AC power. The efficiency ratings for the RZ 450e have yet to be finalized. The comparable Toyota BZ4X XLE all-wheel drive variant gets 114 mpg city, 94 mpg highway, and 104 mpg combined. This Lexus will most likely be comparable. Let's have a look at the performance. The Panasonic Prismatic cell battery pack powers electric motors that offer all-wheel drive. A larger 150 kilowatt motor powers the front axle, while an 80 kilowatt motor powers the rear axle. Overall, the RZ 450e packs a 308 horsepower punch, which is more than enough for an SUV longer than the smaller NX. The acceleration is not only smooth but also effortless. No, it's not as rapid as a Tesla Model S, but this vehicle can touch 60 mph in the 6-second range, which is sufficient for street use. The ride quality of the RZ 450e, like any decent Lexus, is on the softer side, but the body roll is relatively well controlled, especially when pushed through corners at high speeds. The front end is supported by McPherson struts, while a double wishbone system supports the back. Lexus's first version of this mechanical shock absorber technology, frequency reactive dampers, responds differently to diverse highway inputs, helping to iron out surface irregularities without bashing you up. The vehicle's mass cannot be hidden, but like other EVs, it seems planted until the tyres begin to whine in protest. The all-wheel drive system can distribute torque front to back according to the conditions or driving mode, but strenuously exercising the RZ on a track demonstrates that this system is smooth and seamless. When it comes time to slow down, the braking is as organic as quinoa, since strangely there is no transition from regeneration to friction braking. There is no increase in regenerative braking when you press the pedal because the car employs friction brakes. The RZ450e's chief engineer noted that the business believes the accelerator pedal should only be used for acceleration, not slowing down. An unusual response from the automaker that practically pioneered this technology with its pioneering Prius hybrid. Similarly, the RZ450e only delivers a partial one-pedal driving experience while offering 4 distinct levels of regenerative braking. The least powerful has practically minimal drag, while the most powerful has up to 0.15 GS of deceleration. Let's look at the steering systems now. This is the one feature of the RZ450e we cannot leave unmentioned. The RZ450e will have 2 steering systems, a traditional wheel arrangement and a futuristic steer-by-wire yoke with no physical connection to the front wheels. The typical affair works as expected. It's natural and intuitive with a soft touch and a reasonable ratio. Naturally, there is no learning curve, which the yoke does not have. This science fiction-like steering mechanism will be known as one-motion grip in some regions. Yep, OMG for short. According to engineers, it has significant benefits over its century-old rival. With more handlebars than the wheel, the yoke improves instrument cluster visibility, gives greater agility at low speeds, with little uneasiness on the highway, and even avoids wheel winding. All of this is supported by entirely redundant electronic systems and even a small auxiliary battery to power everything in an emergency. The yoke performs admirably, improving the RZ's agility and effortlessly adjusting the steering ratio as its speeds vary. It makes the SUV feel stable and agile, even though the front tyres provide almost no feedback. Unlike Tesla's system, the yoke only turns around 150 degrees from lock to lock, thus it never completes a full revolution. Unfortunately, the RZ450e seems darty at lower speeds around a tight cone course, with slight adjustments leading in large front wheel motions, making the SUV shake from side to side. That yoke too has a learning curve. At low speeds, it takes focus to dial in the correct amount of steering angle without overdoing it, which is different from the much more relaxed steering wheel. Lexus also built up a short, low-traction course where one can experience extreme handling. A generous pedal thrust sends the standard RZ's rear out, requiring considerable countersteering to fix. It's simple and natural to slide the vehicle while maintaining control, but it requires a lot of quick hand motions. This is not true of the yoke. Because of its much faster ratio, only a tiny amount of input is required to stop oversteering. Surprisingly, this feels completely normal, with no jitteriness or overcorrection. In the United States, one-motion grip should be known as steer-by-wire. It will be available as an option on the top-tier RZ450e model at a later, as yet unspecified date. One-motion grip is an innovative technology that offers significant benefits, even if it takes some getting accustomed to. Still, it's preferable to Infinity's awful steer-by-wire technology right out of the box and should be significantly superior to Tesla's. The main appeal of this first drive chance is to get a feel for the RZ450e's performance and digital steering system. Aside from the headline-grabbing features, this vehicle has a few other noteworthy features, such as a standard dimmable glass roof, another first for the Lexus brand. Apart from that, the RZ has a modern infotainment system with a 14-inch touchscreen. This system is similar to what is available in other new Toyota and Lexus automobiles. Radiant heaters can also warm the driver's and front passengers' legs, enhancing vehicle economy. Lexus's Safety System Plus 3.0 has a slew of features. There are advanced driving aids like adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and an emergency driving stop system. The last item has a driver monitoring camera that can detect if you're intoxicated. If this occurs, the car will come to a complete stop in its lane and activate the warning lights to warn other drivers. The RZ450e, like other Lexus cars, has aggressive styling. The bodywork is adorned with several angled lines and sharp surfaces, which are visible behind this prototype's brand-specific camouflage. Up front, the filler piece in place of a typical aperture is impossible to miss. Yet grille or no grille, this utility vehicle is unmistakably Lexus. We'd love to hear what you think about this. What do you think of the Lexus RZ450e 2023? Please tell us in the comments section. That being said, we get to the end of our video. Thanks a bunch for watching and stay tuned for more. Be sure to check out the videos being displayed on your screen. Until the following video, peace, I am out.